I emptied my gun. That's correct.
After emptying your pistol, did you attempt to determine the extent of Bill Pogue's wounds?
No.
Or Conley Elms?
No.
In fact, you went immediately into your tent and got your rifle. Which one did you go after first?
I have no idea.
How close were you?
I have no idea.
Did you feel in any way threatened?
I really can't tell you what I felt. As I said, I was a little out of my head at that point.
Mr. Dallas, did you not think it would have been easier if you and Jim Stevens had gone to the authorities and told them what happened?
No, and I still don't think so. Not with the lynch mob attitude the state has tried to cultivate here. I think that would have been suicide.
Did you want to or intend to kill Bill Pogue or Conley Elms?
All I wanted to do was to keep those men from killing me. I responded in the only way I could to stop them from killing me.
He's lying. There's not a damn word of truth in anything he says. He's trying to put my brother on trial.
Kid, it's not a question of whether he's lying or not. It's a question of whether the jury believed him.
By God, he murdered my brother. There's no two ways about that.
The law says there's more than two. There's always manslaughter.
You think he'd get away with just manslaughter?
I don't know, Ed. I've never been able to predict a jury.
All right. Court is now in session. Be seated. Have you reached a verdict? We have, Your Honor. We, the jury, on count 1 and count 2, find the defendant guilty of voluntary manslaughter.
What else can I say? This verdict clearly cheapens and jeopardizes the lives of all police officers. It means their lives are now expendable.
It's open season, that's what the hell it is. It's open season on all game officers, and they've just been told that today. You don't like your citation, just put a hole in the game warden, no problem.
Well, Tim, looks like Nevada's got itself a brand new folk hero.
Like hell it does. He hasn't been sentenced yet. The judge still has some leeway.
What do you think he's going to do?
Well, like I always say about jury verdicts, I can't predict that.
You know, when you think about it, Dallas and Pogue, they were both born 100 years too late.
Two peace officers lost their lives in the performance of their duties. The person who loved freedom more than most of us, because of the way he lived, has lost that freedom. Mr. Dallas, I feel in my heart that you know you've been given a fair trial. The jury has found it intentional and unlawful killing of a human being. True, it was without malice, and could have come upon a sudden quarrel, that is, the definition of manslaughter. I can tell you sincerely that I do not believe the issue of self-defense arose at Bull Camp. It's contrary to common sense that peace officers would attempt to shoot anyone over a misdemeanor. It's my judgment that you drew and fired your gun at Mr. Pogue before he ever drew his gun. Your actions were motivated by your own desire for freedom, as opposed to any actual threat to life and limb. You buried Mr. Pogue's body in a shallow grave, knowing that would not be sufficient. You left no word of his whereabouts, knowing the kind of pain and suffering that would come to his family. The court finds the killing of Mr. Pogue totally unjustified, and that you be sentenced to the Idaho State Board of Corrections for an indeterminate period of time, not to exceed 10 years, which is the maximum allowed by law. For the killing of Mr. Elms, you were sentenced to a period not to exceed 10 years and to be run consecutively. The act of shooting the two officers in the head was atrocious and outrageous, and you were sentenced to a third period of time, not to exceed 10 years. I did not like to play God. I did not like to fix 30 years, regardless of what the situation is. But I cannot justify any lesser sentence for the taking of a human life.
mountains where the tree line meets the snow. Spirit of the old West Heights, no place left to go. Two men lay dead at full cap, one lived to take the blame. Was once a hunter, now he's the hunted, and Claude Dallas is his name. Well, Claude Dallas is a mountain man, born 100 years too late. More at home in the wilderness than with men who lie and hate. But he killed 3 deer out of season to last him through the snow. When the warden came to take him in, Claude Dallas would not go.
Ed, you leaving in the morning?
I'm getting out of here tonight. Packing up and clearing out. Thanks to your Idaho jury.
They gave him 30 years.
30 years, nothing. More like good behavior, 10 years. Tell you one thing. If he does get parole, he better sleep with his eyes open. I'll see you.
And he did not understand how they could search without a warrant. And now there's blood on the Idaho sand. And there's no second place winners.
What do you think, Tim? You ever gonna get a parole? No way, he's too dangerous. He'll always be dangerous. No matter how you slice it, he's a killer, but you know what? You get a wolf or a mountain lion in a trap, sometimes he'll chew his leg off to get free. That's Claude Dallas. He'll always be looking toward the mountain, toward the snow line. He'll go for it. Give him the slightest chance, he'll get free.
Claude Dallas, they want you locked in a cold jail cell. Only the mountains know for sure.